Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, Integrative Nutrition Health Coach and Stress Recovery Coach. If you are new to the channel, I am so glad that you're here, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today I have a special Valentine's Day treat for you in my Valentine's Day Avocado Dark Chocolate Mousse with Rose and Raspberry. It was created for the kind of love worth celebrating, one that nourishes, one that supports, yet still feels really, really special. Most desserts on Valentine's Day too, right, tend to be full of things that are going to spike our blood sugar, that make our bodies react in ways that are uncomfortable and not good for us. But this dessert is exactly the opposite. It is meant to support your body, support your blood sugar, your cortisol levels, and give you something that still feels really indulgent and sweet. So it's simple. It takes about 5 minutes to put together. It does take 30 minutes to chill in the fridge, but the prep time is roughly 5 minutes. So it doesn't get any more simple than that with just a few simple ingredients. And it is, with the avocado, we've got a lot of the healthy fats, and that brings with it a lot of fiber. Avocado is full of fiber as well. We've got some maple syrup, which I love. You know, I use it in my desserts, but I've just learned just how good for you maple syrup is. It's probably the best natural sweetener out there because it is full of minerals that we need. So when it comes to sweeteners, I'm sticking with maple syrup for those reasons. We've got a little bit of milk. I'm using coconut milk here, but you can use a dairy milk if you want to, or another, milk type product. And then we've got obviously dark chocolate in the cocoa powder. So I did use dark chocolate cocoa powder, but that has magnesium in it, which again helps support cortisol. So it doesn't get much better than this dessert. Super simple, just a few ingredients and very quick and super easy. So let's talk about it. All right, so to make the dessert, I took my avocado, I cut it in half, I removed the seed, I scooped out the 2 halves of the avocado, added that into my mini food processor, and then added in the rest of my ingredients. So I added in my coconut milk, my dark chocolate powder. Since I was using dark chocolate unsweetened powder, I went with 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Dark chocolate can be super bitter, and I love a bitter chocolate, but I didn't want it to be overpoweringly bitter, so that's why I went with the 2 tablespoons. If you're using a regular cocoa powder that might be a milk chocolate type of cocoa powder as opposed to dark chocolate, then you might not need the 2 tablespoons, but that's totally your call to make. And then I added in a pinch of salt and vanilla, half a teaspoon of vanilla. So I added all of that to my food processor. That's it. That's all you got. And then I blended it up, and I scraped down the sides several times to make sure that any of the avocado pieces got blended in. And I probably could have let my avocado ripen one more day, but I didn't have time to do that. But so it still worked great. My avocado was perfectly right. But if you really, really want to make sure that there is absolutely no even teeny tiny avocado pieces in there, you probably need to use a very ripe avocado. Once it was blended and I felt like it was, completely incorporated, no chunks of avocado that were visible, I just popped the lid back on the mini food processor and stuck it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Once the 30 minutes was over, I took that out. I scooped it into my grandmother's antique little dessert cups here, and then topped it with some raspberries. Now, I know the title says Rose and Raspberry. If you want to make this even kick it up an extra notch, you can add in a little bit of rose water just to give it a different kind of taste. Obviously tie in that romantic roses Valentine's Day theme. I tried to find rose water. I could not find it. And because of the recent storms that went through here, grocery stores were kind of a little bit crazy. So I felt lucky to even find the raspberries. Honestly, there was no produce in the stores just a few days ago. So I was happy to find the raspberries, but if you do want to add in that rose water, you can do that. I just wasn't able to in this recipe today, but it is in the recipe online, so be sure and check that out. And it turned into this very sweet, very cute little dessert. The recipe makes 2 servings, and it tastes really rich, really decadent, but is oh so good for you. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and be sure to check the website and social media for all the ways that you can work with me, all the tips and stress related and burnout related tips that I talk about on my social media. So check all that out. Grab the recipe from the link in the description below, and be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. So until next time, I'm Holly Andrews, and I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out.